There's an old story about 100 years ago. There was somebody addressed the crowd in Killeagh one time. This was a mixed audience, and he said, "Ladies and gentlemen and men from the mountains." I don't know if there's anybody here from the mountain, but look. Anyway, I'm here to tell you about Hogan's Yard, which is called at the time. This building was built in 1767, which means it's 250 years old this year. It was purpose-built. It was constabulary barracks. It was going to be the place that housed the people who were the eyes and ears of the empire. And Samuel Hogan, the top man up here, Old Sam, as my mother used to call him. Old Sam was a sergeant in the RIC in the early 20th century. He survived 1916, and he survived everything, and he built up this place. It was the biggest employer in Killeagh time. It had 16 people at best. This is a big number at the time. About 1925, I think it was. He started a business. He was living on his British pension for being a servant of the Crown for so many years. He got a generator and started a timber sawing, a small saw up in Kennedy's Yard, the pub up there. And it went well, and we finally moved down here, the constabulary barracks, where they were living, the Hogans, and started the business. And as it happened, my father, he was served his time to be a carpenter joiner and wheelwright in Carricktool at Fitzgerald's. And after 7 years he was out and came down here to Killeagh, where there was a place, starting up, cutting timber, and they wanted somebody to make windows and doors and such, So it was right up the street, and he got a job from Sam, and he was almost the first man in, and from that for 40 years he was foreman, you might say. People didn't call him a foreman at the time, he just worked there, and he was the man you went to if you wanted to know anything. What to do next, whatever, As well as my father working here, his brother Jim worked here in the 30s and 40s. Then my two brothers, Bill and John, worked here. And myself, I worked here in the 50s, the final for a few years, in the middle to late 50s, I would say. The sawyers, the people who worked in the actual cutting the timber, the big logs, there were usually two at a time, but these are the people I remember over the years. Paddy Foley Killeagh, Jack Mackesy of McGeely, Willie Hayes Killeagh, Shamey O'Loughlin Knockmanlea, Michael O'Loughlin Knockmanlea, and the saw doctor Ned Long. They had a fair amount of gear here, like bandsaws, beautiful bandsaw, thicknesses. They had great gear here. They were very forward looking. So it was a pity to see it came to a close, and when it did,